Kings tonight, they played last night, I know, but what do you expect from this team? A team you know well and they have a certain style.
Similar Kings team. They're going to come after you, hard forecheck. They're a heavy physical team. They play real strong in the center ice. Same old stuff.
It's always important to have Oliver out there. We saw him leave the game, but he was out on the ice today. Do you expect him to play tonight?
Yeah, I think he'll be in the lineup tonight. It seems like everything's all right, so it's good to go.
Something he can manage and for the long term here?
Yeah, no, he's fine.
Louis will back up Dave?
So Peters, there hasn't been a release yet, but Peters will head back to Tucson today, and Louis will back up.
Dave, you mentioned the other day perhaps getting Chychrun back in the lineup. Is that something we might see tonight or soon?
Possibility tonight. We're still looking at a couple different scenarios there, so we'll figure that out tonight.
How do you think he's been handling this period where he's been observing and rebooting?
He's done very well. Worked hard. Got a lot of work done with Jim Playfair, and just a little mental break for him will be good for him.
Seems like some of the great players have all maybe gone through this, especially when they come into the league so young. He seems to understand that as much as it's tough. Just talking to him, he seems to understand that, and he's talked to some of those players too.
Hey, Oliver went through it, Murph went through it, Stone went through it. You look around other teams, there's not too many young defensemen in the league that don't go through it. So it's just part of the building process, and especially you see him, he's an 18-year-old player. That's a young guy, so there's lots to learn. It's just not all about stick handling or skating on the ice. There's a mental aspect of the game that has to come into play, and sometimes that's the hardest part for young players, to be able to sustain that. So a little break now and then is not bad.
If D'Angelo comes out, Dave, is that just juggling, rotating, or is he someone who might go through that process too of taking a look and seeing what it sees?
We'll see. He's been pretty good, but we'll see. We've got lots of options there.
Do you like this 8 defenseman setup? Do you think it's sustainable throughout the season, just to keep the options there and the rotation, or how do you manage 8 guys back there?
Just put the 6 in that you think can give you the best chance to win that night. That's what we're looking for.
Any update on Craig Cunningham, Dave?
No, not yet here. I think we're getting fairly close, so maybe. So we'll see.
And I guess with Richardson, Dave, I know I keep asking if there's anything new. Is there going to come a point when you expect to know if he's out for the season, or just the reality of his recovery?
We'll leave it go the first little bit here until he gets back and starts doing some rehab. He's really just been. I think he just started some rehab now, but he's been laying pretty low here. So once he gets back around the team, we'll have a little better indication.
It's actually been going on the last couple games, but the stretch where you're going to play pretty much every other day, and it really is quite a sprint through till the Christmas break and then right after. But is it something that you kind of address with the guys, or do you feel like it's just sort of part of the deal every year in this season there's a stretch like this?
No, there is. This is we've talked about a segment that will end tonight with all the division. We had 8 division games, so but yesterday we talked about taking the day off because we have to build up some reserves for the schedule coming. So you have to manage your schedule. The players have to recognize that you're going to try to do whatever you can to give them the best chance to be successful. And there's times when you need some practice, but there's times when you need rest also. So we'll try to manage that as best we can.
Does it feel like a normal November, December? Do you feel the World Cup, the bye week? Do you feel that kind of crunch, or does it just feel normal for you this time?
I think you just. If you step back and think, of why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? It's a lot of stuff that is inconsequential. So you look at the schedule. It is what it is, and you manage it going forward. There's no use worrying about why it's like that, or it's just part of what you do.